Do you think the lighting is terrible?
I don't think so, but you're a big lighter guy than I am. A lighter shade guy.
You're browner than I am.
I'm all different types of brown.
Hey, we look okay. Let's just do it. Slather up. Hey guys, welcome to the Moe and O show. My name is Mo Morales.
And I'm Omar Gonzalez.
And we are friends, high school friends, grammar school friends, and now we are
Podcast friends.
podcast friends,
That
just
do
like
podcast.
you. Absolutely. And we meet up every week to talk mostly photography. Last week we talked only movies just to annoy everyone, but we're back to photography this week.
Let us know in the comments how that annoying worked.
Yeah.
Did you really get annoyed?
Absolutely. And I, interestingly, have wine and water.
He's trying to make water into wine, but it's not working. So we'll keep trying.
Tell me about this Huawei thing.
So as you know, Huawei is the number 3 cell phone seller in the world.
I did not know- I did not know
Samsung, Apple, and Huawei. Those are the major 3 cell phone sellers. Huawei is connected
To the
loosely
Chinese government,
to,
right?
to the Chinese government, and we as the country, not me, are under the impression
Moe and Omar show.
is they there's a strong belief that there's spying going on and stuff like that. So the government is trying to limit what kind of access Huawei has to this new 5G program, which a lot of their parts are going to be in a lot of the 5G transmitters and receivers, which can pick up data, right?
Wow.
So our government's really trying to start, hammer that from happening, as well as, impact Chinese trade as far as like how come we have to pay so much to import stuff or export stuff over there, and you're not paying that much. So as you know in the news, a lot of stuff is going on here in America where President Trump has imposed this traffic. Yeah. Anyway, he's imposed these traffickers and stuff like that. So now they put him on a entity list, saying that if you're a company from the United States, you can't work with these people, these companies.
Little blacklist going on.
So they put Huawei on that list. So Google has to be compliant because Google is based in the United States.
Okay.
So Google has said, hey, going forward, we're not going to push any updates to you guys. We're not going to do this. You're not going to be able to use our store, our apps, or this and that and the other. Which for the most part, if you notice any Chinese phones like the Oppo and the Huawei's Honors, they usually come with multiple apps because in China in general, Google isn't already allowed to be in there.
That's right.
So they put their own phone apps on there. That's why people say there's a lot of bloat on Chinese phones, but that's because in their country they can't use Google. So ultimately what's going on is that right now they have a 90-day license to be able to get updates pushed to them and stuff like that, but this is impacting them across the world because who's going to buy a phone from Huawei if eventually the new phones are not going to be able to come out with the Google Play Store?
So is this sort of like a ploy by our government as sort of leverage for this whole trade war that's going on?
A lot of people are saying that this is all about the money.
Yeah, this is all kind of like a threat. We'll take you off the list if. So it is a...
It's a ploy by the government being used to, leverage it against the trade stuff, as well as to have other companies not use their product, so that they won't be able to steal technology on this 5G network system.
Wow, that's crazy interesting. And so for future implications, terrible.
And Huawei's already been suspicious that this may happen sooner or later, so they have already started in the process of creating their own I/O.
Okay.
So they're coming out with a Huawei Android iOS equivalent.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure how that's going to work. But again, Huawei makes amazing phones, but you do always have to have in the back of your mind, are they pulling in your data?
Yeah.
A lot of phone companies, a lot of cell phone makers have a habit of, you find out Apple was looking through your data.
Yeah,
Google,
Facebook.
When you walk into a Burger King and 5 minutes later you get a coupon from Burger King in your email, it's not coincidental. It's because Google's sharing your information.
Yeah.
So the Chinese phones aren't the only ones that are looking at what you're doing if you don't have the proper settings set on your phone to block all that stuff from going out.
Yeah, I wonder what in reality is going on. Did I tell you my Adirondack chair story?
No, tell me.
No, in the last summer, we were sitting around, and I was sitting on an Adirondack chair. Those of you that don't know what an Adirondack chair is, it's just wooden, lean back, comfy porch chair that you can have in the summer. And I was telling the 4 people that were there, I'm like, I need an Adirondack chair. I said it about 3 times, the word Adirondack chair. And then later that night, an ad popped up for an Adirondack chair. Like, they're listening. That was my first real slap in the face of the whole, because we put it in the back of our mind. And, people put tape over their like cameras and stuff, but
you have to.
Yeah.
You have to block your cameras on your computer and your laptops. And sometimes even your phones, put them face down or face away from you when you're not using them. Anyone can jump and hijack that system.
And not only that, it's not just anyone like a hacker. Who knows what the companies are doing just to see, who knows if there's a back room where they're like, how is this person using our phone?
So
because I'm sure in a user agreement we somehow cryptically
no one agree. No one reads them. They just flip them forward and check off. Yes, I agree. So basically, I knew what I've been doing. So I actually signed up for an app called Google Rewards. So what Google Rewards does is it sends me surveys,
okay.
and then they pay me a couple pennies here and there that I could use towards anything within the Google store.
Okay.
It made me realize that. Because I said yes, now Google is following every step I make.
Oh, not just surveying, like whatever you do.
So whatever I do, I get a survey within minutes. Which one of these stores have you been in?
Wow.
So basically, it'll be like something I would be in, like a T-Mobile store, and then like 4 other stores like I would never go to.
Mandy's.
Like, so what is Super Crunch called? What is that? Like, I'm not working out. Look at me. So I'm like, yeah. So what they were already doing, now I've officially given them permission in one of those swipe up and not read. It agrees.
Man, where's this going? Like, remember the scene in
1984?
No, 1984. I was going to say Winter Soldier, where they sort of, the guy says that the algorithm from Hydra can tell from bank records and how you shop, like what threat you are and what level you are. I think in the beginning, it's going to be like it already is advertising, and they're watching you so that you click on things.
Exactly. So that's the scary part about our technology. But again, it's hypocritical to say it's Huawei doing it.
Yeah, I bet Alexa's doing it too.
Oh, how many times have you heard that Alexa sent someone's personal conversation that they didn't actually know was being recorded to someone's friend?
There was a court case where they were trying to, subpoena the Alexa recording. I don't want to say the name too loud because she hasn't woken up yet. Alexa, hello. Hi. Stop listening to me. Oh, you see, you can turn off the microphone, she said. But there was a court case where they wanted like the transcript. There was like a murder or something.
Yeah,
and they think that Alexa recorded some of it.
Because they know it records, it's always recording.
Sort of listening all the time for the name.
It has to. So our technology is what we used to watch in movies growing up.
I know.
And what we used to read about. We're there now.
But let's think of 1984 for a second. Let's think all these Amazon Echoes. Let's say they're all listening, right? And everyone has them in their household. What could it be used for?
Advertisement.
Totally.
It's all about making money. Advertisement.
All right.
And let's go Minority Report. Let's go. They're trying to control you and make sure if they get to the point where I hate the president is said out loud.
It's dinged. It's pinged.
Fling. Your IP is sent to them directly.
That's what I was going to say. If someone starts, it's the same thing if you Google how to make a bomb or something, or if you start talking about it.
You're pinged.
We're already pinged. I just said bomb.
Twice, and I said I hate the president. I mean, I do hate the president, but let me take that back. I don't hate anyone. I just don't like that he didn't help Puerto Rico.
Totally.
No, actually, a lot of things I don't like. But anyway.
But this is an interesting discussion because we're a little blind to it right now. And everyone was shocked when Facebook was like selling our information and sharing our information. We were all like, quote, shocked. But what do you think Facebook does?
But the bottom line is we're shocked by our own laziness. If we didn't just swipe and agree, we would have read that they're going to share your data with partners. And these partner companies may try to advertise to you.
I mean, a lot of people deleted Facebook. Would you or did you?
I did at one point, and now I've deleted Messenger.
Yeah.
Now, you know why I deleted Messenger? First of all, it's a large app. First of all, it takes up a lot of space on your cell phone.
So gigabytes is what did it? Not like rights?
Yeah, that and the fact
human
that
rights.
I only use Messenger on a web-based. I have a Chrome on my phones, so I go to Chrome into my Facebook app, into my Facebook, and then use Messenger that way.
But you didn't delete your account.
No, I thought about doing that.
Me too. I thought about it, but man, so many memories. I mean, that's
the whole thing. That's how they get you.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get
they
you.
got us by the Bojangles.
Most of my posts are on Instagram these days.
Yeah,
it doesn't mean it's much
You're
safer.
fogging up.
No, man, because I'm hot. It's caliente in here.
It's warm in the office because I have an attic office, and as soon as it starts blazing, we need a backup plan.
Like AC?
Yeah.
It's like most people do.
Oh, that's not a backup plan. That's plan.
That's another question for you. Random question.
All right, go.
Not since you have central air in this house, when back in the days did you feel it was too early to put in your air conditioner?
All right, so I'm going to do heat. I'm going to go backwards. I feel like mid-October was always too early. October for heat. Mm-hmm. And then air of June. I mean, it's almost the end of May, but...
Like I put my air conditioners in last week.
No, you're too early, man.
No,
it's still cool at night.
I'm fat, though. Fat people get hotter in different places quicker than you do, skinny boy.
Yeah, so anyway, it's an interesting conversation, and it's a little scary. It's a whole Big Brother thing, and I don't know what my kids are going to be going through.
It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse.
Well,
they're going to start listening to you through your cell phone, not just through Google, through the app you downloaded.
Yeah.
That looks like it's a fun, free game app, but now you've put them directly on your phone.
What are your thoughts on like signing in with other companies? At first I used to do it, and then
not anymore.
Not anymore,
No,
right?
no.
I used to sign in with my Facebook, but now they'd be tracking that too. They'd be tracking.
Well, he shops here, he goes here.
Yeah.
How do you think you're signing in through them? You're going through their proxy. You're going through their server. They know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting conversation, too, being, quote, watched. Everyone's aware of the algorithm. Let's say, for example, YouTube. We always talked about, like... The wormhole. But doesn't the wormhole... Isn't that better for your life when you think about it? Because you're getting and they're feeding you things you want? Meaning, I don't want to see WWE videos. I have no interest in wrestling.
Or they're feeding you what they think you want.
But it's working.
How many subscriptions?
It's chicken or egg because I'm clicking.
But here's the thing. Okay. I'm not saying they're wrong they're not. It's working. You're right. You're clicking because they're feeding you what you want. But how many times have you subscribed to something and you never see it on your feed when something new comes out because you're so inundated with that one video you click that now has created that new wormhole?
It's true. I have a lot of subscriptions.
I have 250 subscriptions, and lately all I see is Marvel stuff and a cell phone stuff when I have a ton of photography subscriptions.
Yeah, it's because you haven't clicked on that person.
I click on Mr. Poland all the time.
Jared.
And I pick on him. I pick on Tony all the time. I go find my way to.
Do they pop up on your feed?
They don't. If I don't check my email, I got a new. They posted something new. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, that's how bad my wormhole is.
So I'm trying to work the algorithm a little. I've been, for example, I'm gonna like work my wood.
My, daddy.
I got this. I'm hacking this IKEA table, and I want to like antique it because it looks just like junky pine.
Oh, you meant real wood.
You thought I meant like
dance that. Ladies and gentlemen from Brooklyn and Hoboken.
No, and now, man, the woodworking videos, I expected it, and I'm really hesitant to click on stuff because I click on one thing and it's like, damn,
first of all, it just throws all
woodwork Bob now, and now I'm getting like how to antique furniture videos. So I'm trying to work the algorithm because it has a little button that says not interested, not interested.
Me too, I do all the time. But you know what? Everyone has that. Think about this. Amazon.
Amazon was like the originator.
We're the big Amazon buyers.
If you like this.
Right. So here's the thing. Like you buy...
You buy
a camera, right? You buy something. Name something that you only need one of.
Like the soft release button on here.
You bought the soft release button. Then they send you 18 different soft release buttons.
Yeah.
Like you don't need that many of those.
Yeah, I agree. And also they're very smart. If you buy a camera, the accessories things keep coming out. And I hate to be jumping around, but Amazon smartly has a buy it again thing.
Yes.
And you would never think that's effective. Buy it again. And you're like, I need razors.
And you go, that person, the girl we're not going to say out loud, because she might say hello again. You say, hey, buy this again. And then they know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, yeah.
And they'll buy it for you.
I tell her, that's very convenient, though. That's like very Jefferson's.
Jetsons.
Sorry.
Beans don't burn the kitchen.
Keep dolphin on the grill.
Took a whole lot of crying. I just made the whole song up.
Weezy. That'd be great if your Amazon Echo had George Jefferson as the voice.
These off because I'm cooking.
Yeah, we got to end this soon, man. We're burning up here. But okay, so I think we talked about Big Brother enough. It's a little scary
because now he's watching us. He's like, let's put Moe and O photo show on the radar.
We're on the list. We're on the list.
So you have to do this because my glasses are off. But let's talk about some other stuff.
All right, cool.
Other things in the news is Peak. Peak is a very famous Kickstarter bag. They're known for the Kickstarter bags, and they make really amazing bags according to every photographer who puts out the YouTube video at the exact time.
Did you see that? Whoa.
The Peak tripod, right?
Yeah, the Peak carbon fiber.
The other day, everyone's not sponsored yet. They coincidentally all came out at the same time, which probably has to do with an embargo, which is they couldn't talk about it till this certain date.
They all got it for free. Mm-hmm. They definitely said they got it for free. But it's interesting. Some people put sponsored by, and
some people said not sponsored by. For instance, the Norcuts.
The Norcuts.
Norfolks. Oops.
Oh my god. No, here's what I think. Not sponsored by. If you don't receive any cash, you're not sponsored by.
Right.
You can say, "Hey, they sent me the tripod." You can write "not sponsored by." Do you think? I mean, I think if the person received the tripod, it's sort of sponsored.
So here's what I think. I think it's depends on who the person is.
Agreed.
Some YouTubers are big enough that they don't care.
The
North guys, and Pro, Mr. Afro Pro. He also got one for free, but he gave the goods and he also bashed it.
Yeah.
Like he didn't bash it, but he said this is the bad stuff of it. So as long as you play both sides of it, I think you can say they gave this to me and I'm not sponsored by. I think if you just come out and say not sponsored by, politely, and you just spend an entire video praising the product and say nothing negative about it, there's no perfect product.
You're right. There has to be pluses and minuses, and the huge minus.
Price. Like it's $5.99 for the carbon fiber.
Yeah.
And I get it.
You could get so many good tripods for that much. And I really don't think a tripod is an exciting purchase for most people, even people who need them and use them. A travel tripod is not that exciting.
That's a travel tripod, $5.99.
Yeah.
What do you? Come on, man.
Well, let's think about who it's for. They're small and light, so it's not for like a hardcore landscape photographer.
It's not. Who wants? Because if you want something, if something too light, it's going to shake with the wind, even if you weigh it down.
Absolutely.
So that's my whole point. Like you're
in the market with Me Photo now, or like a Manfrotto.
Here's the thing, though. They already have over $2 million committed.
Wow. I think. See, Peak is smart because they made clips that are amazing. Mm-hmm. I use Optech USA,
right?
Because I prefer they're smaller. They're small. I like anything that's tiny and sleek. And the Peak design, although amazing, they're just a little bigger.
And it doesn't work for me with the whole lifting and
clicking. Yeah, I like the squeeze. I like to squeeze.
Yeah. Listen, it's a great design. Peak is a great designer. That's why they're making all this money, and that's why people are jumping into this thing.
Yeah.
And if you jump into as an early adopter, you're saving $121 either way. So it's going to be $489 if you get the carbon early adopter, or $389 or $289 if you get the aluminum. Early adopter. But still, it's still $400 or $200.
So can you like school me here? Because I thought Peak Design was an actual company. Like you go to the trade shows and they have a booth. I didn't know they were Kickstarter.
No, you could be a company and still put out Kickstarters.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, I mean, it didn't work for everybody. Like there was the Robin phones, their little square box little phones that everyone thought was amazing.
This is a tripod though. It's crazy.
Tripod.
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, I don't need a tripod. I mean, I don't. When I go traveling, I don't stop and set up photos.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Well, think if you're good, let's say you're going on a landscape trip, you need a tripod. And so if you only have a backpack, like sometimes a travel tripod is all you need.
I guess I don't have plans in my old age now to go traveling to take landscape photography photos.
So Peak, kudos to them for coming out with a beautiful design. It's like really sleek and amazing. Someone on a computer used a CAD program and was like, damn, this is perfectly. But listen, it's got a new mount on it, which is annoying because people like the Arca Swiss mount. Mm-hmm. It's universal if you have a some kind of cage or small rig on your camera. And the Manfrotto one, which is a little different, they have you can screw most of these mounts, like the Manfrotto one, by themselves or with a coin.
Right, and this
they
thing
have
has
a hex,
a locked-in hexagon that you have to have with you at all times.
Come on, man.
There's no groove. That was a bad move.
That was a bad move. It's over.
And also the fact that what was it? The no groove. They
got no groove.
The whatchamacallit, the balancing thing, the leveler,
the bubble.
The level bubble. It's as soon as you put your camera on, you can't see it.
Oh, okay. It's so sleek.
I mean,
it's so sleek.
Again, we have to see it once it physically comes out to the public.
I've seen it 18 times, 18 YouTubers.
Oh, when you see it physically in person. There's a lot of things in this world that other people tell you how they feel about it, and then you get it in your hands, you're like, I love this thing.
So we should talk about the whole YouTuber all of a sudden all coming out with the same thing. Like this, it sort of ruins the credibility of the product.
Completely. Like when like people come out with the same headphone review, and they come out with the same tripod review, when they come out with the same, not the lens reviews, that doesn't make sense, but like random things that they just want to talk about this all of a sudden. No.
Well, like for example, the DJ came out with their Osmo sort of camera. Action camera. The same day, like the embargo was lifted, all the reviews came out, which is totally fine because people want views, but these people get pre-production models and they... it's really hard to bash a product that you get for free.
You have to walk that line of, if I say the wrong thing, am I going to get another one?
Yeah.
So here's something funny I found. So the OnePlus 7 Pro just came out, and you know how I feel about OnePlus company. I love them. Everyone, when the embargo was lifted, everyone had a 1 week review already out. Like, we've had the phone for over a week.
Of course, the big names especially.
Right. The biggest name in tech, Marquez, put out his video same day, but this week, or just like yesterday, he came back with an update. I loved that.
No one else did, right?
I loved that. I love the fact that he says, this is what I've learned since I reviewed it. This is how I feel about it. And as things progress, I'll update you.
That's great. How many people do a second review of something? Watch this tripod thing. This won't come. There's no long-term 6-month review.
The only company that the only YouTube channel that I watched that used to do it, doesn't mean it's the only one. It's the only one I've watched. It's Pocket Now. And they deal with mobile tech, which is laptops, phones, stuff, that kind of stuff. And they would do an After the Buzz all the time. So they would wait 6 months after a phone. It had to be a big phone. It wasn't like they weren't doing it for the Nokia 6.1. So they were doing After the Buzz for like the Samsung S8 or the Apple iPhone 8 Plus. They would do an After the Buzz. Like, how do we feel about this phone 6 months later?
I think with cameras, the same thing happened. When you see those YouTube videos where it's like 1 year later, the Sony A7 III.
You do that with cameras more than you see it with phones.
Absolutely.
Cameras, because think about phones. Technology on the phones, it's 6 months, it's dead.
It's dead or it's been updated.
It's been updated to the point.
Yeah.
It's like a MacBook Pro lately.
Hey, MacBooks just got updated.
The reason I say that is people are so bitter, completely understanding that a version of Mac Pros came out in July of last year. A new version came out in November.
Yeah.
And now another one is coming out now.
And they're sort of like secretly introduced.
Yeah, they're like, hey, listen, we don't want to piss anybody off, so we're just going to sneak these in. Okay, George?
Why? Anyway, we shouldn't get into Apple bashing. But,
no.
If you're shopping for something, I think my advice and what I like to do is to take a big sample. So really, it's kind of fun, but you binge watch reviews and try to pick out who is, I don't want to say biased, but let's just say certain channels, even mine. Like, I would totally admit that I'm semi-biased towards Fuji. Mm-hmm. And it's an emotional response because the camera brings joy to me. So if like I was really wanting to love the Fuji X-T30 and I couldn't.
Yeah,
I thought I would love it more than this camera, the Fuji X-T20. And I just couldn't.
That happens all the time with me with cell phones. Like, it's a brand new cell phone. I love it. I have it in my hand.
The next one, yeah.
And I love it. I have it in my hands, and I love it for 5 minutes. And then I'm like, I can't love this phone. Yeah. This is missing. That's missing.
This is missing. Yeah.
So that's what it is. Like,
and
once you lost that D-pad.
I mean, you've seen my channel, but I hopefully come across as being honest as opposed to, not really giving people the full story. And I feel like the Fuji X-T30...
You always say it, though. This is my point of view. This is how I've used it and how I've enjoyed it. I think... a good idea for future videos is based on something we just did. The XT20 2 years later after the buzz. That's really after the buzz.
Way after the buzz.
Yeah, it's like after the snoring and the buzz.
Oh my God, we're reviewing the original Nikon 3000.
Speaking of Nikon,
yeah. Oh, Nikon. This is our last story.
Yeah. So Nikon,
my God, this was like a structured episode.
Shh.
Let's not ruin it
I'm
by
not
interrupting.
reading any notes here. I'm just going off the top of my head.
All right, go.
So Nikon has had to do a recall for the Z7s and Z.
What are you from Canada, man?
Hey, man. I just want to say Z.
Hey, man. That's like Jamaica.
Hey, man. Here in Jamaica, we got the Z.
3 times I told you.
How many jobs you got? I got all
9
Irish on
jobs. Yeah, it's be great.
So anyway, they have a recall because
that's great. Oh, sorry.
A small population of their Z7s and Z6s, the vibration motor built into the camera,
image stabilization,
is not working. It's called the vibration, the VR in the camera.
Oh, the VR in camera.
So
because they call it VR.
Right. So they have the VR in the camera. Their IBIS is not working.
What does that mean? Not working? Like it just
you turn it on with the understanding it's working, but it's not. It's just
so
not
you
working.
mean not working?
Yeah, it's like, what the hell you think I mean?
Well, I thought you meant like...
No, that's not what I meant.
Oh, right.
So, yeah.
No, what I meant, I thought you meant like, they turn it on and there's a malfunction where the IBIS goes the other way, like super shake.
Oh, yeah, man. So, no. So, basically, you just got to go onto their website, type in your serial number, and they'll let you know whether or not yours is affected. It's not a large number, but they've been proactive about it, and they're trying to get ahead of it. They'll fix it for free, even if you're out of warranty.
Got it.
They'll pay for your shipping to and from. So it's a pretty good deal by Nikon. I like any company
who owns up
and
number
says, hey,
one.
and that's what it is. We apologize. We messed up. We'll fix it. But this is another. Just if you did something wrong, don't Apple it.
Don't Canon it.
Don't Apple
Canon it. Don't. That was all one word. Don't Canon it.
I got you, man. I'm with you, bro.
Canon, for some weird reason, removed 24 frames per second in one of their modes on the Canon RP. And it could have been one of those things where they're like, once they see the backlash, they could be like, we have a firmware update. We apologize. It was just, because of whatever. Come up with some PR baloney.
We got to blame Todd for this one. Todd wasn't thinking.
Or Susan.
No, Susan's not here today. Yeah, poor girl. She's on vacation.
Yeah, and but like come up with some excuse and then give people a firmware update, and then all of a sudden the love comes in. I think companies, if they were smart, would start like crippling and then giving. They cripple and they just cripple.
I think the bottom line is that because they're giving everyone an option, that everyone thinks that option's for them.
Yeah,
because the Canon R whatever
the first one,
the R, and then the next one RP. They're not meant for every photographer.
Yeah,
they're not meant for every videographer. But
videographer.
No, videographer is my word. So these people, everyone on the market, especially the YouTube reviewers, think this is my camera. I'm offended by what's on this.
Yeah.
So Canon now has to retrace all their steps because they thought they were marketing to just this group of people, but it's a Canon. Everyone's going to look at it.
Yeah. And it's funny. It's like there's barely any reviewers that are like consumer. Like, hey, I like basic cameras.
You need someone out there to say, hey, this guy, Grandpa, just bought this camera, upgrading from the the Polaroid 1600 he used to have. Is this going to work for him?
I know.
No, they're like, no, like I can't take my models out here and stuff like that.
You think, like CNET, I think, is a company that maybe can do that. CNET is big enough that they could review very consumer cameras. But I think in the photography, well, based on my algorithm anyway, the photography peeps are all up, down.
Right.
So they'll bash imagine someone gave you a Nikon Z6, man. Like, that's a beautiful camera with great image quality, and it's incredible. And it gets bashed sometimes, where there's a market for point and shoots, people who don't want to do photography. They just want a nice camera,
I mean, I want to buy an expensive camera to put it in auto and just shoot.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
It's okay.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's your money.
It's your money.
Spend it how you want.
Yeah. People know good photos. So they know that the larger, bigger DSLR cameras, when they get their photos into their computer, it's better than their phone. So
much better than their phone.
Yeah. Anyway, bud, it's hot.
It's really hot.
Let's end this one. This was fun. We talked like serious stuff.
Like, I can't believe that. Can I mention I'll just say Marvel. Okay, I'm done. Ooh, that's for you guys.
Endgame. Yeah.